What's up, YouTube? It's the Balls back in the building with another video. And today I have a special guest. I appeared on her show before, Cocktails and Cousins. Now she in the house with the Balls. How you love that? Yeah, so can you tell the Taco Montana viewers what's your name?
I am KLYNN, and like you said, host of Cocktails and Cousins.
Yes, and she's gonna be the co-host today on the Taco Montana show.
Yeah.
She got latitude to do what she chooses. She can ask me questions. You know I don't go for that. But yeah, today she gave me the same thing. So she get the same here, the same love. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of things that I do, KLYNN, for my youth, because I always want them to know that education is important. So, you know, I want you to tell them where you from, the elementary, the middle school, and the high school you attended.
Okay, so it's a long list. So
Hey,
okay.
We got time.
Right.
I ain't got my watch on, but we got it.
I am a native Washingtonian. I was born and raised in Northeast Washington, D.C.
In the house.
I went to LaSalle Elementary School.
Salute.
And then I went to Bacchus Junior High School.
Bacchus.
And so then I transitioned to private school. So I went to Immaculata College Preparatory School that ended up expanding because, during that time, all the all-girls schools merged with the all-boys schools.
Okay.
And then I had the opportunity to go away to school.
Right.
In Connecticut. So I ended up graduating from the Marblewood School in Cornwall, Connecticut. And then I went to college and a couple of places. So I went first to the University of Connecticut, then I came back home and studied here and got my degree from Gibbs College in Virginia.
Okay, so what did you get your degree in?
Business administration.
Okay.
Business management.
You know I love business. I'm all about the money. Because she's spending Arab money. She's been all these schools, Connecticut, things.
Hey.
Oh, wow. So but how have you been, though?
I'm good. You know, the climate of the world is,
yeah, it's toxic.
taking this place. It's taking me through, all kinds of changes right now, But for the most part, everything is good. I mean, during, these transitions, we've had to do some halt on the recording of our show.
Right.
Because both my cousin and myself, basically our schedules just got kind of crazy.
Right.
But we are in the process now of revamping
Yes.
and get back out there.
Your boy back up on that show.
Yeah, we always talk about you. If you ever go on Cocktails and Cousins, Rabble Rouser TV, check out our interview with Taco Montana. It's actually still our most viewed video.
Because we had a good time on there.
Did.
It was a good time with genuine, wasn't nobody acting crazy.
No.
We had so many people talk to me about it. They talk about your cousin. They say she looked like Pam.
Yeah.
That's why I say I got to get her to to do an interview. You let her know.
Yeah,
so
most
we can get her on
definitely.
there.
Most definitely.
I'm gonna do a segment with her, then we'll come back and do it
Together.
together.
Most
That's what
definitely.
we'll do y'all independently. So my audience will get a chance to know y'all. But like you said, the climate has been bad, but so you said y'all gonna put back y'all show, you know what I'm saying, so we'll go back on here, which is a good thing, because we've been missing it, you know what I'm saying. Y'all had a good show. I even thought when I was on y'all show, go back, I know you've seen it, but I'm just saying, I want you to look at it through the eyes of like this. I think me, you, and her, we can do better than the Breakfast Club.
So someone presented that to me. Yeah, they presented us. They did present, possibly doing something like that.
Yeah.
So, we're gonna sit down and talk.
Yeah.
Because we've had some opportunities present themselves, within the district, with some locations that would be interested in something like that. So, because I had first, thought about doing a syndication, which our shows aired at the same time.
Right.
You know what I mean? Your audience, our audience, and at the same time, So we can talk about it. You know me, I'm always about innovation and making things happen, doing something different. So I would like that.
That's why I was pressed to get her on the show.
So
she was running from me, and I tracked her down. It's like, no, you gonna get up there because I appreciate. I had a good time on that show. It was one of the best interviews I had, you know, during the time. Yeah, I really appreciate it.
Well, I think one of the things that really did it was informative. So it wasn't just like we were all on there just cutting out back and forth, not really having a message. And a lot of people were, you know, impressed with the actual topic and the content, and then being able to still have a good time in the session. Right. Because
it was something you had talked about on that show that I'm saying that, like you said, the climate of what we're in right now, and a lot of people going through it. So, you know, and I want to go through something about mental illness, because when you was on your show, you were able to expand to people, and it was a good thing for them. So, you know.
So, I am a certified mental health aider. So it sounds crazy, the name, but what we actually do is I'm trained to be able to assist someone who may be having an episode or some type of mental health attack. Sometimes we don't know, you know, let's just say in our, you know, growing up in the 80s and the 90s, 70s, whatever, you know, we dismiss people as just crazy.
We just say crazy.
Man, they crazy, or man, she just slow, or he just, you know, whatever, and never really knowing that somebody could be having a mental health attack. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I've been guilty too, because you know, I'm a mother. I have children and grandchildren, and sometimes when your children may be acting out, you're not looking at it as there could be something else going on with them outside of this home. In school, at work, or whatever, in their private life, right? So, just finding those identifiers, you know what I mean? Like somebody will call you and be like, man, like I'm gonna tell you what is a word that we hear often now from these youngins is crashing out. Oh man, she crashed out.
They crashed.
But the truth is, a crash out is a sign of mental illness.
Wow.
You know, and someone is having. It may not be all the time, but it can also be just their capacity to cope with what they're going through at that moment, right? So you have to, you know, really pay attention to those cues. You know, when somebody calls you, be like, man, I'm having a real bad day. Now, I'm gonna be honest, sometimes I don't feel like it. I don't feel like hearing your show. Or, you know, look, I had a bad one too. You know what I'm saying? The man just said we might be furloughed out here. What we doing? You know?
What?
So you got to think about that. You know, and we live in Washington, D.C. We have so many federal workers here. So they talking about people going postal. What?
You're about to go federal.
Federal, right? What?
Hey, let me make sure I stay in the house.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. I mean, and you know, just dealing with the youth and things like that. That's me. My bad. That I thought I had muted it.
Don't worry about it.
All right,
it's all good.
So at the end of the day, you know, you're dealing with, you know, people dealing with work, with their children, their families, anything like that, you know, things like that. So you can't just, you know, dismiss it. When people are going through something or they show you something, you know, kind of pay attention.
Right. Because you don't want them to crash out like the youngest.
Man, what?
Yeah, we don't want none of that. We want them to be on their A game.
And you know they crash anyway.
It's not a DC thing. It's a global thing.
It is.
You know, like you said, with all of that's going on right now in this climate, you know, with the administration and a lot of things. Yeah. So how do you, like I said, like you said, you know, the people maybe crashing out or having like episodes, you know, and you said sometimes it might be a day that you're not even feeling like being bothered. So when you don't want to be bothered and they're crashing out, are there some places that they could possibly go to get some type of help or something?
Well, the first thing is whatever city or state you're in. There is a number, and I'll get that for you so you can make sure that everybody has it. But people can reach out locally. There are local offices, the mental health, so they can reach out to mental health or the Department of Health. I'm sorry.
The Department
of Health, either Washington D.C. They can direct you. You know, depending on your health insurance, there's always free mental health counseling. You know, behavioral health counseling, things like that initially, and then once you're, you know, they not diagnosed, but you know, kind of figure out what your need may be, then you can be directed where you know you need to get the correct help.
That's wonderful. And I hope that's informative for y'all, for the people who actually need that, because we want everybody to be good out here. So, what's next? I know you said y'all gonna start back up the show. So have y'all thought about like doing any things in reference to like, you know how they have these shows? What do they call them shows where people are? They have it in, like the Atlanta Housewives. What is that?
You mean like a reality?
Reality, yeah.
So it's funny. A couple years back, we were presented with an opportunity like that. But you know, you got to think about just invasion. Like that's like your life. You know what I mean? And when you're living your life daily, is someone following you at certain times of the day with the camera? I'm not even gonna lie. I don't even think I can deal with it. My kids at one point were actually thinking about doing that themselves, like because they were like, we're a show on our own here, right? So, I mean, I just don't think I could deal with that. You know what I mean? Like all the time, you know, I've worked in entertainment for a long time, and I've never really had a cutoff. And as I matured in that business, I was able to, you know, put boundaries up where I before could not do. And I just feel like with that type of business, it's not reality. I just couldn't have somebody all the time following me around or whatever like that. But
yeah, the thing you just said a moment ago, as far as entertainment, I mean, I think I have in my mind exactly what you were doing, but I know it's something with a band. Ain't you doing something with a band? Tell us about that.
Well, currently, right now, I am performing with Pure Elegance Band. That's a Gogo band here in Washington, D.C. The band has been around since the 90s. I joined them around 2012. So I've been with them ever since. We've had some transitions, some ups and downs, whatever, but we still kicking and we performing weekly, different places. So still doing that. But when I was doing management, on major artists, international artists, I was doing that first. I've been singing since I was a kid. I was signed to Columbia. Just a studio deal back then. But now I just sing with the band because I love it. But as far as management and all that, I don't feel like it.
Yeah. Because it's a job, and sometimes the artist just did not participate properly.
No. And you know the thing is that artists think that, I mean, you know, they're artists, so they always thinking differently, and sometimes it's not rational. It's not realistic.
They live inside the bubble. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, my album ain't selling 1 million, not knowing that it takes a lot of things to make that happen.
And it's harder now because the access, which was gate kept for so long, you had to have an avenue or had to have someone to get you to those places to be able to release music and put out. Now anybody can put music out. I mean, whether you're talented or not, you know, and they're out here. So I think it's a little more difficult now.
Okay, so what would you say? Because in DC, you know, we have our own genre, you know, which is Gogo, and I've answered it, and then we're gonna let you answer it, so it's all on recording, so people have other perspectives. So why do you think Gogo didn't go as far as DC? It didn't go like on a national level, you know, as far as like a lot of like a Tony, Ohio players and bands of that caliber.
Well, some correction, because it did go that far.
Yeah,
it did go that far. The problem is, Gogo is kind of like Louisiana. You know, they have a genre called it's called Zydeco. And you know, and I go again with something else I've done. I'm always doing something, but Gogo Radio and NBC Radio, I worked with them for many years, and I learned this myself. So Zydeco is their way of their music, their genre. And it's the same thing with them. They have all kinds of songs and bands that play this music, but just not. It's not always tuned to the ear, like everybody. And I think because Gogo, we know that raw sound, and we love it. so when we hear it kind of similar somewhere else, we can, you know, embrace it. But Gogo is it's like artists anywhere, you know. We really are protective over our genre.
Yes.
And I feel like, you know, people still, it's like reggae music.
Yes, they stole it.
They stole it.
Yes.
And I mean, let's talk about Red Essence and EU. Then Trouble Funk, Travel the World, man. These guys, if you get a chance, Google Gogo in Japan. Bad, man. They mimic us.
We're mimicked all over the globe. You know, that's one thing. I'm saying not just Gogo, just our people. You know, in general, our cultures. You know.
But there are some people doing great things in the city. Right now, there's a petition that's being signed for Gogo is to be added as a genre on the streaming platform. Yeah.
I told somebody they would have to do this because what I had said to someone, let's say I'm gonna say 20 years back. I know that sounds like a dinosaur. I'm old as ice, twice as nice. You don't need to know the rest of that. But I told my manager, Pinnacle, Rollo, and I told a lot of them that when Chuck Brown passed, it's kind of, to me, now, you know, you still in it, it kind of signaled like the death of it because it never was like you said, it wasn't really recognized as far as like it should have been a genre on the billboard. It should have been recognized, but I think, like you said, we kept it so tight and then share it with, I guess, the industry, you know. So that's why I'm wondering, like, what's going on now? Because, like I said, I don't know who would be that band that would be the pioneer right now since Chuck is gone.
So Chuck's band still plays. His son.
They do?
Yeah. His son has taken over the band, the Chuck Brown band, Wiley. And I mean, it's crazy. This guy is like this carbon copy of his father.
Stop playing.
Yes, indeed. So the band still plays. You got to remember though, Chuck Brown wasn't just a go-go musician. He played blues, everything. I remember being away in school, and they were like, Chuck Brown is coming to town. So me, I'm like, oh my God, Gogo. Like really in Connecticut? So I came. And then when I went, he didn't play that one Gogo song.
Played the blues.
He played the blues the entire time. But it gave me an entirely different level of respect for him as a musician because all that I knew, and you know, like I tell everybody in my big age, I just knew at that time that he was a go-go musician and he did covers of blues songs. Right. I had no idea that he had his own and how, you know, and all of that. So yeah, I feel like right now go-go has changed. The originality of it has gone out the window. It's a lot of covers being done. Like people just cover. Everybody's like a top 40 with a go-go beat. Right. And but I still feel like these people are talented. They have a lot to offer. Right. There's some really amazing bands like Black Alley is a really great band because I feel like they have their own sound. That's, you know, they're innovative as well. There are quite a few. It's a new band that actually popped out, and they're young people called Pocket 3 or whatever. There's a 3 in there, but it's Pocket. And they're really, really good from Annapolis. Okay. They're really, really, really good. So the thing is also, Gogo wasn't picked up by the younger genres either. I mean, younger generation. Right. They are rap. They're about rap. Yeah. It's rap music for them. Right. That's why I said the transitional part. You know, not saying that it's like dead as far as no talent. I was just saying that the youth didn't integrate with it. You know, they more so, like you said, they went to rap and was like, you know, that ain't my thing. But I think that Gogo, like you're saying, it could do better if I guess a lot of people had more visuals of it, because I've been around people in their head and they might not get it, but when you in there, you actually see it and you're gonna get it because you wanna move and dance because that's the mood of the people. So I was telling my manager that maybe, you know, I told him where I might wound up transitioning to doing something like Arsenio Hall. I just said this is the now, but later on I'm transitioning where I'll sit out there with my suit tie on and be interviewing you, and then I have the band. But that's really what. So there are a couple of people who tried that. So there's a couple of shows podcasts that I've been on, I've actually performed on.
Right.
And that's what they do. So one of them is Heartbeat Conga Hour. And Heartbeat actually played with Chuck Brown also. So he has, first it was a radio show, now it's a podcast, and the bands perform. And he's basically reminding people that there are more bands than just the ones that we hear all the time.
Right.
You know, so he's doing a great thing. But I feel like the way to a crowd is music. People's heart is music. People get your attention. It's like a kid.
Right.
The way to their heart is food.
Yeah. And to ours is music.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I really think. You know, more visual of it. You know, like I'm saying, actually seeing. Let's just keep it real. Actually seeing the women dances on enticing guys. Let's just get in there because, you know, like working the walls and stuff like that. I mean, that's me. I'm going to the Gogo tonight, you know, I'm going to see the girls dance. So that's why I said more people seeing it because, hey, they been twerking in DC, man, 20, 30 years ago. So it's newer to people now, but they've been doing it in the Gogo. The Gogo has seen so many dances inside the Gogo that we see in videos. Like you said, a lot of them have stolen from us, you know, and not giving us credit for what they've used. You know, what Herbie Love did now, there are a few people who did give us credit for what they used. You know, so I'm not going to say everybody, but the majority of them just stole it. What is that, junkyard, not backyard, junkyard, you know, the buckets and everything. Well, New York had some plays, they had plays and stuff where they were banging on the trash and they took that was like 20 years. I was like, man, they stole that straight from DC and now it's on an opera, it's on stage. I mean, what are they, wow.
Yeah. It's in theater.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, it can be a form of flattery or just thievery.
Still try not to give us our credit because, you know, I was talking to someone else too, a friend of mine is in Atlanta, and I understand how he may view it because they down in Atlanta, you know, that they feel like a lot of New York set the style and fashion, and I said, not for DC. And, you know, so me and him and somebody that was from Boston, you know, we was in like a little debate, and I was like, no, because when New Yorkers come down to DC, we change their clothes. We tell them, man, get up out of that, man. We don't wear that around here. You know, so we've changed their style. So whatever they wear there, they did that. But when they came here, it changed to let you know that it wasn't the same, that ours was totally different. So that's why I said we had a lot to do with style because even with Biggie, when he said Miami, DC, prefer Versace, and what did you see Biggie and Puffy them and Tupac mostly with? That came from the style of DC, but by us not having a major, I mean, you could say, I guess you could say Wale and stuff, but we didn't really have like a number of major artists here that would have showed our style because, you know, we do got our own little style of fashion as well. And the music, we had that too. So, you know, that's what I just think, you know, a lot of that should have been seen, but, you know, now we're older and you say the youth are, they not carrying on the Gogo, so we don't really know. But I have heard a little, I've had my ear in the street and I've heard that under this climate, some of the other people are not too comfortable with that Gogo. So what do you know about that?
Well, who cares?
Right.
I think gentrification is part of the problem. And, you know, what you don't understand, you want to dismiss. And I feel like sometimes if you show them, you give them the education, then they, you know, might be okay with like, oh, okay. Some, but I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. It's a lot of, no, I'm not gonna say it like that. There is a lot of diversity in the Go-Go. When I go to the Go-Go now, it is not just us. It is a lot of different people. Matter of fact, we played a show last night at an Ethiopian restaurant, and there was nothing but Ethiopian.
And they loved it?
And they loved it.
They loved it.
They hired us. So my thing is that things are changing. DC is changing. I mean, it's no longer, I mean, honestly, to find a Washingtonian is hard now.
I know. That's how Atlanta is, you know, because a lot of people from DC, I know down in the 90s ran down there to help build out Atlanta, and so now they're saying in Atlanta it's not even really people who are from the South; they're from everywhere. Because they're saying that's like the new chocolate city, you know, which DC. I still say we there because by the numbers, you know, per capita numbers, we probably still there.
No, I'm gonna tell you what I feel like. I feel like we're not as present because they moved up to the suburbs. People got older, they wanted a different way of life, and people moved to the suburbs. Sometimes I go online and troll and read what people are commenting about. You know what I mean?
So
like,
you a troll?
I troll. I'm not even gonna lie. And I say nothing. Just because I don't even want to get into these long, drawn out conversations writing. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, typing and texting. So I do believe that some people really just want it better. Like some of us grew up in the city, didn't live in a home. I mean, I was blessed to have lived in a semi-detached home in Northeast, right? You know what I mean? So I was a house. So I felt like I was doing okay. Yeah. Well, not me, but my people, you know?
Yeah, that is okay.
Right? So, but then some people were not that fortunate to live in had those type of means or whatever, and then they get the opportunity to move, they move out to the, suburbs. I did the same thing. I mean, I did it. Okay. And that's because I had kids and I wanted the, during when my children were small, DC had started this whole charter school thing. Right. Where the actual DC public school system, which I had up in, which I did pretty well in. Right. I mean, they were all disbanded and they were, these charter schools. Now I gotta do all this research on the school system, this, and the third. And so I was looking when I was like, okay, I'm gonna upgrade home. Right. I'm also looking for school too, a school, a system where I wouldn't have to pay, private school. I ended up having to pay private for private school, but I still moved out to try to, make a difference. And I feel like everybody that lived by me grew up in town. Right.
Yes. So it's people like you who are going to make a difference to the youth in the future. So, and now, not just in the future, and now. So is there something you could say to the youth to inspire them so they can do the right thing like Spike Lee and not crash out?
So what I'm gonna say is this, y'all. I work with young men between the ages of 12 and 18 years old with the Sasha Bruce Youth Work. Okay. And this is just this moment. This is not forever. So don't make forever decisions in a moment. Right. A split decision can change your life back. Right. And find something that you love to do. And it sounds so bad to say don't put all your eggs in your mom's basket or your dad's basket or someone else. Think about what you like to do. And when you see somebody doing something that you like to do, ask them about it. Because that could be your future. Taking somebody's car, somebody's wallet, shooting somebody because they said the wrong thing. Like, those things are just this moment. Right. You're gonna have a joyride for a moment, a free car for a second. Think about what you can do later on. And these things are what I try to instill when I encounter the young men that come into the facility. Take a moment. What do you like to do? Right. Some of them love music, but they don't even know how to go about getting to the music. They just see whatever, and of course they look online and they might know somebody. You can do this. Think about it, something that small. And some of them have had the opportunity to go into the studio, sit down, learn how to create a song from the beat or start to write or whatever the case may be. And then we work with them where they can create a whole song. The joy in these young men. Like I did that. You know what I mean? And then later on, let's talk about the content. Because you want them to enjoy what they're doing, so you let them talk about what they want to talk about. Right. But something like that. Find something that can be long term. And then give the importance of education, period. Right. That's really the key. Education is the key. Yes. It's the key. And everybody's not cut out for college. No. But just learning a trade, something small, like, you know, just you look at how they build that brick wall, or oh, this man, he's an electrician. How you know how to do that? Oh, AC work, you know, HVAC work. Come on, like, we got to get back to what our grandparents and great grandparents did to build the wealth, the generational wealth that you may have now, or, you know, because, you know, I was talking to a boy the other day. He was like, man, because his mother, they're talking about another stepchild. His mother she got her own company. And I said, okay, that's good. He was like, yeah, but that's how he got to walk around with Balenci's and this, that, and the third. He ain't outside. Okay, that's good.
That's good.
So, what do you know about that guy? You knew that his mother started a company and now he's benefiting.
Right.
So why don't you do that?
Exactly.
Instead of trying to figure out a way to take him down.
Right. Emulate. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you heard that. And as I've always said, the women are our teachers, and you need to listen. So, KLYNN, one more thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of people are going to be interested in you. Mm-hmm. So can you tell them your social media so they can follow you, so when you come back up with the Cocktails and Cousins,
yes, indeed.
And also you're out performing, we want them to come out and support you, when you're doing your shows.
All right, so first, I am Boss Lady KLYNN on, it's KLYNN, K.LYNN. So it's Boss Lady KLYNN on IG. I'm just on IG. I don't do any other platforms. And it's Cocktails and Cousins podcast on IG. And my band is, like I said, Pure Elegance Band. We are on IG, we're on Facebook, we're on TikTok, we're on everything. So at any time that you are available, just, come out and see us. We're over at Burner's Bar and Grill every first and third, and at Restaurant 91 over on Bladensburg Road Northeast on every second and fourth Friday. So, that's what we doing.
That's what's up. Wow.
And I can't forget.
Yes, please.
Cocktails and Cousins is on Rabble Rouser TV. That is where you find us. Rabble Rouser TV on YouTube. Rabble Rouser TV on the internet. Rabble Rouser. That's us.
Get there or be square. Make sure you check her out. And always, as we do about this time, it's time to end the show. And we had a great interview with KLYNN. She's gonna come back a second time, as well as Mo Banks, Shasky, Kay, and all the rest of the crew. Yes. But we appreciate her being on the show, as I showed her the same, and she brought the same energy to me. I love it. I just gotta get her cousin, to get out there.
Yeah, because first of all, look, I'm always straight-laced. My cousin Gigi the Diva is definitely brings all the spice. So, shenanigans comes with her too. Yeah. And I can't wait till I tell her you talked about her looking like Pam. Everybody says that. Everybody says that. Yeah. She's been hearing that since Mark came out. How about that?
Yeah. Because I can't tell. Hey, you remember when I was on the show, and we was on the show, and we was drinking, and they said, Taco, you need some more drinking? I said, oh.
No, when we were there to remind you.
Oh, I ain't even sitting there. Oh, okay. Yeah, so I appreciate all my supporters, and make sure y'all support KLYNN.
Yes, indeed, please.
At all times, I'm saying, support the movement. I'm saying we're gonna all get back together, and then one day, like when I interview my 50th person, we're gonna have a little party, and everybody gonna come out, and we're gonna do a live little celebration to show everybody back on the camera, so you can see all the 50 people that I interviewed, and then I'll go to the next 50. But I appreciate KLYNN for coming out, and thank y'all for enjoying the Taco Montana show. How you love that? What's up, YouTube family? It's your boy, Taco Montana, back in the building once again. I want all y'all to go out there and pick up a copy of the Taco Montana Clandestine Hustler by shopping Amazon. And to all the new people that's seeing this, hey, subscribe to Taco Montana TV. You heard? And also pick up this gear, this merch here, at Taco Montana TV.